What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Mike Jeezy here. Happy Monday. Coming at you with this week's edition of the Weekend Update. I didn't get to do one last week because I just got too busy, but I'm making it a priority this weekend to do one. So let's go right in and talk about the YCS in Colombia. In the top 16, we saw 10 Necros, 2 Shadol, 1 Satella, 1 BA, 1 Clifford, and 1 Volcanic. So you can tell that Necros is pretty much, dominating the YCS and ARG circuit. The winner of the event was Barrett Keys from the US, and we actually saw 4 US players in the top 16. Jose Osores, who I haven't heard of, Barrett Keys, Tamid Zaman, and Ankit Shah. They all played Necros. And so we can tell, in the top 16, generally when a deck takes up about half or even more than half, and everything else is pretty low, we can tell that it's, probably a tier 0 format. If you aren't playing Necros, you're kind of just playing at a disadvantage. That's not to say that other decks, can't do well, but I just think Necros are, ahead of everything else right now, and the premier event results, lead to that conclusion as well. Which is, fortunate in one aspect, unfortunate in another. It depends, which side of the table you're pretty much on and how big your wallet is. There were a lot of regionals that happened this weekend, and from what I've noticed, definitely the Star Seraphs from World Superstars definitely made an impact on the meta. I've seen Star Seraph Shadols, Star Seraph Satellar Knights, and I guess Robbie Cole is trying Star Seraph Trap Tricks, so it's definitely a little engine that's very splashable in a lot of decks, and it's kind of cool to see that. I like it when a little engine could be splashed into a different deck to help it. The prices of the Star Seraphs have gone down a lot, from at least from what I've heard, that they used apparently they used to be $30 each, and now 10 to 15 each. I guess from what I can see, the pull rate's not too bad on them, which is good because it's just annoying, when stuff gets short printed, and I like it when things are accessible to people. I think that's all for Yu-Gi-Oh! So we'll dip right into Magic. So Magic, we saw 2 events. First I'll talk about the Grand Prix in Krakow, Poland. So I did a top 16 and a top 8 distribution to kind of, see the before and after effects. So in the top 16 we saw 6 Esper Dragon, 1 Blue-Black Dragon, 1 Bant Heroic, 1 Red-Green Dragon, 1 Abzan Whip, 1 Green-White Aggro, 1 Green-Red Devotion, 1 Abzan Midrange, 1 Abzan Control, 1 Jeskai Token, and 1 Ojutai Band. So definitely a very diverse looking top 16. The breakout star for this event was Esper Dragon, taking up, I guess, I don't know, is that about 40-ish%, of the top 16. I wasn't expecting, Esper to do so well, but it just goes to show you, from week to week, Magic event tops can change so much. From the Pro Tour, we saw a bunch of blue-black and red-green aggro winning the whole event, but at this event we didn't even see mono-red or a green-red aggro deck even top 16. So that could go to show that people just kind of anticipate those decks and maybe find counter strategies for him. I guess in theory Esper Dragon would be pretty decent against those matchups, but I haven't really played it, so I'm not too sure. And then going down to the top 8. Top 8 consisted of 5 Esper Dragon, 1 Blue-Black Dragon, 1 Ojutai Bant, and 1 Jeskai Token. And one of the Esper Dragons did win the event. The interesting thing to note here is almost all of the Esper Dragon players, went from top 16 to top 8, and the deck distribution is like way less, and we see a good majority of the top 8 be Esper Dragon. So I would say, the winner of the Grand Prix is definitely Esper Dragon. So it'll be interesting to see, if locally people will try Esper Dragons a little bit more. Like, I know some people have been just playing Esper because it's their favorite archetype and stuff, but the deck does look really good. If I had the stuff, I'd probably at least try it, but I know some people just don't like to play like control. There's a lot of aggro here. Alright, so that was the Grand Prix, and then we also had, let's go up here, the Star City game in Providence. So for the top 16 distribution, we saw 1 Absent Whip, 2 Mono Red, 1 Sultai, 5 Absent Control, 2 Absent Aggro, 3 Jeskai, 1 Temur Dragon, and 1 Esper Dragon. So even just like going between like the Grand Prix and the Star City game, it's just like 2 completely different, results for basically. You had 1, 5, and 2, so that's 8. So about half the top 8 was actually some flavor of Abzan, where in the Grand Prix it was just like 1, 2, 3 Abzan decks making the top 16. And then going into the top 8, we see 1 Abzan Whip, 1 Mono Red, 1 Sultai, 3 Abzan Control, 1 Abzan Aggro, and 1 Jeskai. The finals was the Abzan Whip versus the Mono Red. So, I think in Magic, you see a lot more diversity overall. We don't really see a tier 0 deck right now, which is kind of, it's cool to see that. Even though Abzan takes a lot of tops, you don't really see it win that much. It is kind of interesting. I used to play Abzan, but I dropped the deck just losing to random stuff all the time, and I just got frustrated with it. And, stuff's rotating, so time to prepare for that. The cool thing about this event, and I actually put it in the wrong thing, I guess. Alright, so the winner of the Star City game, Providence, was actually Oliver Tomeko. I think that's how you pronounce it. Where, if you follow competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually, you would recognize this name. He ended up winning the whole event with Absent Whip, which is interesting, in itself, because a lot of people considered whip strategies to pretty much be dead, but he won the whole event at 14 years of age. So looking at his creds, he's already done a lot of stuff in card games. In 2012, he got top 8 at YCS Philly, and he was, 11, 12 years old at that point. He's a 2013 Dragon Duel World Champion, and in 2014 he got 3rd place in, I believe, just the regular Worlds, not the Dragon Duel. And then, this year he just won the Star City game, so he's, made the record books at being the world, or the youngest, person to win a Star City game. So this kid definitely has a bright future in card games. I mean, he's already done so much. It'd be kind of cool to see him go to the Pro Tour and all that kind of stuff. It depends if he keeps interest in card games as he gets older. I can only see him get better, even though he's already pretty much at the top. He's in theory, going to Worlds twice and topping a YCS, what more can you ask for? I guess besides, topping or winning nationals. And then, in the Magic front, winning a Star City is cool. I'd say, topping a Grand Prix and playing in Worlds, or playing in a Pro Tour and top 8ing a Pro Tour, are definitely milestones to achieve, strive for. So definitely see a good thing in Oliver's future. But yeah, that's about it for this weekend. I just have to plug Magic here. if you really like a diverse game where the diversity actually like means something, it's definitely like good right now. Even though you might see like some decks that do really well, like consistently more than the other decks, but they're not necessarily winning, talking about Abzan. It seems like with Yu-Gi-Oh, like, you do see diversity, but it's like with an asterisk. It's like it's diversity, but there's a clear best deck. And from playing like Magic recently, like, when I started out again, like I was like, what's the best deck? What's the best deck? Because that's kind of like the philosophy you get from Yu-Gi-Oh. Like you have to play the best deck, and at least there is a clear best deck. With Magic, like even if you are playing the best deck, like you're not necessarily going to win. I think it's because like the jump from like the best deck to the second best deck or whatever is like way smaller than in Yu-Gi-Oh. Like you could say like if Necros is the best deck and X deck is the next best deck, like that gap is like way bigger. And usually we see that in like tier 0 formats where like the best deck is just way better than like the next best deck. So like yeah, it's diverse I guess, but like it's like in my opinion it'd be stupid not to play Necros, even though you might top with Star Seraphs, Satellas, or whatever. Like in terms of the math aspect, like Necros is clearly the best deck, and we'll see how it might change with I think the next YCS is like Columbus. I think there's one in there's a ARG event, so we'll see. But we always say we'll see, and then it always ends up being Necros taking up a huge portion. That just kind of gets boring after a while. Kind of seeing the more diversity in Magic is a little refreshing. But yeah, that's all for the weekend update. I don't have anything to talk about with Hearthstone. I did play in the game day. I played in 2 game days this weekend. I ended up going to Downtown Uncle's, and like my math was wrong. I tried to like the idea was to like go to Downtown Uncle's and hope that it was like a 3-round tournament, and then go to Roy's and the Valley Uncles. It ended up being like 4 rounds, and I lost the first one and won the second one. But I just gave the second guy the win because I wanted to go to, I wanted to go support Roy's tournament. And it was only 4 people at Roy's, which is kind of disappointing. But so we ended up playing. Played 2 rounds. First round was against this guy running Abzan. Beat him. Then the second round, which would have been the finals, I think it was playing Mardu. I couldn't tell. I never saw enough of his deck really. I just like steamrolled that guy. So I won the game day mat. Got some packs. I'll do a pack opening here later. So and got a Thunderbreak promo out of it. I pretty much went to these events, trying to get a Thunderbreak. I didn't care about the map, but mat's just, more trade bait or sell bait or whatever. I think Steve wants the map, so we'll see what we can do. But anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you find these, informative and interesting. Try to just, show what happens at these events to basically keep, the viewers aware of what's happening, because even though I'm not playing Yu-Gi-Oh, I do feel like I follow Yu-Gi-Oh more than like some people that are actually playing the game, which I don't know, it's kind of sad to me. In my opinion, it's sad that this dude that doesn't even play the game is following it closer than people that are playing it. But because it's all about information, it's keeping aware of what's going on in the game, because information is everything. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good week, and hope to do a premiere primer later down the week, do a pack opening, maybe a deck profile, I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you later.